Riley. You are watching Love TV.
4 people. So Peter Johnson on this side. Just come step here. Doesn't have to be a V or anything. Peter Johnson on this side.
And the audience is back here where Peter Johnson
Audience is right now. It doesn't matter. I just want just stand on one side. Yeah, this side of me. Okay. Jenna over here. DL. Kim. Okay, and then let's see. Let's go ahead and move you over here, Jonathan. Do we need Gary on the same side as Peter?
He's opposite DL. He's opposite DL.
Oh, that's right. He's got to be opposite. Okay, so he's going to be over there. So move you over here. Move you on this side over there. So Gary, I'm going to be Gary over here. So then.
Did you want Jonathan up here?
Huh? No.
Okay.
I'll just hold on. I'm just getting lines.
Okay.
And so let's see. We got 3. Well, right now we got 3 and 3. And who are we missing?
Jane. Me and
Jane. Okay. So let's move you on this side, Breezy.
Okay.
And then we got all women over here. So I'm going to change it. Move up.
Gary.
Huh?
No, Gary.
Oh, Gary. Oh.
You're a guy.
More or less, yeah. We were at Walmart today, and this girl said, "Are you gay?"
Oh, no.
I've never seen men buy all these trash magazines, People magazine. No, she actually said, "I've never seen men buy these magazines before, like People and all this. We read them at home, and then we take them to the shop." And I said, "Have you never seen a gay man before?" She went, "Actually, I ain't never met a gay man." I said, "Well, you have now, honey." That's one. This is my partner, Rick. And that just blew her mind. She could barely ring up her register.
Oh, she was the cash register?
Oh, yeah. You educate. When I left, I said her name was Trina or something. I said, "Trina, remember the lessons I've taught you today." Okay, so of all of y'all. And then in the other hand, there will either be some sort of sign that will be indicative of people that are all up into the ETs like myself, or on the outside hand, there will probably be, I will probably say that the people on the box will have on a stick streamers, so you can whip them around and it shows all these colors, that kind of thing. So that's the plan. What questions do we have so far?
How much time do you need?
Because I'm standing on the stage.
I'm gonna guess we need at least 12 counts.
Well,
That'll be fine. We'll make it work because we'll have them stream in from both sides. Okay, let's go ahead.
Even the kids that come down to come. Okay.
Yeah, I want it all just like a swing.
Okay.
Just this way. Visually right now, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But of course so let's just go ahead and do that count, and then you'll come in on that.
circus.
Well, let's enjoy the ride. Let's go for a ride up to Orion.
Let her come first.
Even if it's only in our minds. On the way now, if you please, we'll stop at the Pleiades for lunch. We'll go on and see the healing temple. Venus and the center of the sun.
girls whirling, because most of you'll have a long skirt. The guys don't get skirts. But just feeling it, and then we'll stage it so it's all around, so that the only two left.
Did you guys hear that? Could you hear that? Would you believe? No, there's no such thing as technical difficulties on Glow Lady TV. Am I blowing that sound out too much, Jeffrey? No? Okay, yeah, flip it on over there. Just in time to see me playing with candles. You know what they say about when you play with candles?
No, what do they say?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Means you're going to pee in your pants.
Gosh, I hope not.
We've had a usual starting. It's been quite amusing, and I hope that you enjoyed the behind-the-scenes view with Richard Schulman. It's Dream of Camelot, and that will be in March 12th, I think, 11, 12, 13, something on the order of. Oh, I found it. Imagine that. And it's going to be at the Masonic Temple, which is going to be really cool in itself. But the play is what is amazing. It's
they're
it's a
opened
musical.
the temple up now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that was Richard, and Richard, Dream of Camelot, is a sponsor of Glow Lady TV, which I greatly appreciate. Love you. That's how we can keep surviving in the world today, and there's a lot of things that are going on. The solar flares. Do you know that we have not had one day in 2011? We only have, one day. There is a 0%, which means that every single day we are getting a solar flare. Now in 2010, the solar flares were every 51 days, which was 14% of the days. Then we had in 2009 a total of 260 days, 71%. 2004, 820 days, which means in 2004, that is when we had those severe tsunami and the Katrina. So, or wait a minute, no, that was even the year before. Sorry about that one. But that goes to figure what we're coming into. We are just starting to see what's going on in the world all around us, not just planetarily, but the Earth is a little bit upset. I guess you can call it that. Commissioners meeting. It is very, very, very important to go to keep your government accountable. And the March 3rd, that's the next one. Thank you, Jeffrey. That's the next one. 4 o'clock if you want to get a seat, and 4:15 it'll be standing room only. But it ought to be very, very exciting. If you like excitement, raw energy, that's the kind of stuff that you want to come and see. World peace, the 4th. But just remember, we can do the 4 o'clock every day. Just wish for world peace. It's that thought pattern that we're putting it out there. Tomorrow there's going to be a couple of walks. We have the Walk for Choice. That is so that women can choose what to do with their own bodies to benefit themselves and any unborn, but not just unborn, to go and find out different tests. I went there for my very, very first pregnancy test. So to me, Planned Parenthood was very valuable in my life, and I can't see it not being. I really don't understand why nobody wants, or I'm sorry, not nobody, but there's a lot of people out there who are very much supporting. There have been 500,000 people who have responded, change.org, for something. I guess that we're not doing the circle, but we are doing the circle on Haywood. Shannon, I didn't tell you about this one. I'm going to be there reading cards. That's on Haywood Road, and it's really, really cool. I'm going to be doing it by donation. That's on Sunday.
Okay.
So I'm excited about it. And then we also have a march going on for the people standing up in solidarity with the people of Wisconsin. If you don't stand up, then you have no right to complain. Seriously, we remember 911? Well, we're seeing it play out all around us. And out of tragedy, people come together in love. So instead of always looking at the bad things that's coming, start looking at what the good is, and that's the people coming together, because that's how we get change. You know, big business behind bars. Do you know that there's a lot of money being made behind bars, not just inside or outside, but inside, which is really cool because the private prison stock is going down. That might be a possibility to states starting to adapt the treatment instead of the jail systems. Yeah, you know, we are responsible. You know, we cannot complain. And also the senators, we need to let our senators know. I don't think it's a call out for action, but it's something. Like I say, be responsible for you. If you don't like what's going on, then don't just talk about it, do something about it. And the drug war spending has been cut. It's like, let's start spending our money more wisely, because there's a lot of things that are going on. You know, we've talked about the okay, how's this one? The difference between medicine and poison is a dose. So when we're talking about addictions and all that, I just found this out. 10 ounces of 100 proof alcohol to a 150-pound person can be put into a coma. I wonder how many times I was comatose, because, yeah, I went down that road. But then I also found out that 100 to 125 aspirin, 325 milligram could be a lethal dosage. So let's start getting the truth of, you know, what is going on. And you know what? I have some URTV slides. I don't think that Jeffrey's going to be able to find it, because thank goodness I have Jeffrey Cristofaro in the control room helping out again, because the I Ching guy, I'm so happy to say that the I Ching lady is back, but the I Ching guy, we love you. And we're going to be talking to you for the I Ching show. That's not to say that we are not having an I Ching show.
Right.
Yeah, no, we don't want to call in, Jeffrey. We don't want to call in. We're not doing a call in, at least not this point in time. I Ching guy's going to be calling in on his, but yeah, not on this, because now we're going to be introducing Benjamin Bernstein. It's all good astrology. So would you put his Benjamin Bernstein, It's All Good Astrology, into the CG, please? Thank you. Okay, Benjamin.
Hi, Lisa.
It's been a couple of months since you've been in here. So what new has been going on with you?
Oh, well, a lot with me. In fact, on today's show, I, of course, want to talk about a little bit of astrology, because the astrology is extremely hot right now, as reflected by world events.
Ooh,
in
big
fact,
time.
Today, as we sit here on February 25th, 2011, Jupiter and Pluto are making an exact square today. And
I knew there was some good stuff going on.
And that's actually the most challenging aspect of the year. So it's a very...
Oh, you mean today?
Today.
Today is the most challenging aspect of the year?
Yes, the most exact challenging aspect.
Woohoo! If that's what that means, then it's going to be a good year.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing year. It already is.
Oh, I love it.
But with challenge also comes commensurate opportunity.
It comes what?
There's always opportunity and challenge. So it's always...
Oh, you mean that was like when the show started, how yeah, you can just open it up on both of us. You don't have to, oh, okay. Jeffrey, man, he's a really good intern, and he's going to be really, really good. I'm training him. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, we didn't have Jeffrey, did we, the last time you were on?
Not that I recall, no.
Yeah, he's really been great. Since the I Ching guy went to Florida, they've been gone. This is what, 3 weeks now?
This is, yeah, we were gone 2 weeks from the show. And so the I Ching guy will be gone another week because of his disc and his back. So he's having a hard time right now. He's walking completely sideways, so.
He's walking sideways.
Yeah, like his head is down like that, and he's trying.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I bet he's just itching to get better.
I like that. Itching to get better.
Oh, I Ching guy. Yeah, we have Jeffrey in behind the camera. We have creative. This is a creative show, if nothing more. Yeah. We do create. We try to entertain and educate as much as possible.
We are creative.
So, what does that say? Fear Benjamin Bernstein?
Feature.
Oh, feet.
I could show my feet to the camera if you like.
I like that.
Okay, feet, these are Benjamin's feet. Oh, that is a good one.
I wanted to talk not just about the astrology, but I'm real excited about some new techniques I've been given recently in my shamanic work. Just ask and receive techniques.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't ask, how are you going to receive?
Good point. But it's amazing how rapidly it works, and I thought that, you know, for the latter part of my appearance today, we might do a few of those and have you all experience that. And the cool thing is, anyone who's watching the show live or even later on the videotape will be able to experience this too.
Cool. Yeah. Now, this was similar to what you had done the last time that you were on? Or it's a whole different process?
I honestly don't recall what I did the last time I was on the show. I'm so much
He had so much fun, it blended in.
Yeah. I think this is a little bit different flavor, definitely a different focus. But first, let's talk about the astrology.
Cool. What's going on?
Well, we all know what's happening in the Arab world right now.
Oh, big time.
You know, the government.
I mean, symbolically, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, 2 Arab governments have fallen. You know, Libya's, you know, in major conflict with several other countries where revolutions are rising.
Right.
And the long-term astrological setup for this is the planets Uranus and Pluto are approaching an angle called a square. When you look at where they're lying in the sky, they're at about a 90-degree angle to each other.
Right.
Now, it's not exact yet. What will happen this summer, they'll come within 1 degree of that square and then back off again. They're like almost there. But the 2012 through 2015, they'll square 7 times exactly.
Wow.
Now, the last time these 2 guys were together astrologically was the 1960s.
Revolution again.
They conjuncted.
Okay.
Even, you know, so
that was even stronger in the 60s?
No,
it's two different kinds of energies.
Conjunction is simply 2 energies coming together and they do what they do. A square is challenge for growth.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, a square is much more challenging than a conjunction. And I think we're going to see an even more intense level of transformation and revolution and paradigm shift this time around. Because it's also coinciding with, of course, the end of the Mayan calendar. Now, I'm also I'm involved with what's called Oneness University, or the Diksha or Oneness movement here in Asheville. And their leader in India, his name is Bhagavan, says that on February 21st of this year, forgive me, February 11th, the Kali Yuga ended.
Well,
which is like
2/11/11, yeah. I mean, you're talking powerful numbers.
Yeah. Anyhow, this is the end, you know, according to his timing, this is a cycle of over 6,000 years that just ended.
Right.
And that's they have 4 major ages in the Vedic astrology system, and this is like the dark age we've just come out of.
Right.
And now the golden age is rising, and February 11th, that day, is the day that Hosni Mubarak gave up power in Egypt.
Right.
So a very powerful symbolic act there.
Very, very big.
So, with the 2012 thing coming, with this new major Mayan age, now the Vedic calendar, if you accept Bhagavan's timing, has just shifted. In my own, shamanic visions, I've seen the golden age already present etherically. Now it's trickling down here. Yes. So I think the wave of riots and uprisings in Egypt and the other Arab countries is simply, what's happening on the planet is all the darkness is being weeded out.
Well, it's that symbolic. There's a darkness with 911. At first everyone looked at how bad. Yes, it was bad, but look at what it did right after in bringing together and uniting the United States. So if we look at what's going on, and this is a global, well, way cool, because we have a way to unite the world in this. If we, if that's what we're putting out there, we do have. Remember, people, you do have choice. It's whether you choose to use it or lose it.
And the reason I'm combining this astrology with the techniques I want to share with your audience in a little while is because the only way to achieve peace in the outer world is to begin with peace within.
Correct.
The outer society always reflects the consciousness of the people in that society.
Correct.
So the more of us who adopt a peaceful, harmonious way of living within ourselves, that peace radiates out energetically and affects others. And therefore, the first step, if you want to change the world for the better, you have to start with yourself.
Right.
And
well, that's be the change.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my whole philosophy. Now, in terms of astrology timing, it's interesting that while this Uranus-Pluto square is the large theme, and it's actually been heating up for several years, because these planets can be literally 15 to 20 degrees apart from their angle and still be strong, these big world aspects. But what got strong just a few weeks ago was Jupiter square Pluto, which is that, again, that thing that's exact today as we record the show on February 25th, 2011.
Oh, it's still exact?
Well, it's only exact for one day. There's only one moment when they exactly make the angle, right? But in astrology,
so they're not stationary.
Oh no, they're never stationary.
All right.
No, everything always moves.
Okay.
So it's the last few weeks. Actually, when the Arab uprisings began, Jupiter was in orbit with that square to Pluto approaching.
Okay.
Now it's exact today, and they'll still be together for several more weeks to come.
Right.
Now the nature of Pluto is death and rebirth.
Right.
You know, the way to understand the planet Pluto is through metaphor. You think, okay, the phoenix burning to ash and resurrecting, the snake shedding its skin, the caterpillar morphing into a butterfly. Jupiter's nature is to simply make things bigger. It's the biggest planet in the solar system, right? So whatever Jupiter contacts becomes enlarged.
So that's what Kelly was talking about last week, about if you don't clear out the icky goo, what she say, it's going to come and get you, you know, on the order of. But yeah, that's pretty much on the order of. If you don't clear out all that garbage that's in there.
Right.
Which, you know, that brings up a point. I actually went to see about a divorce. I felt so good. Yeah. I'm only going to be married 32 years on April 10th, which is Allie's anniversary. But we've been separated 16 on February 14th. So half my marriage, I think that qualifies me as being ready to get a divorce.
I think so.
So that's my icky goo that I'm getting rid of. And
may I give you the Star Wars blessing?
oh, cool! Yeah.
May divorce be with you.
Thank you. That's a good one. So anybody out there who's been putting it off, hey, we're supposed to get rid of that icky goo.
Right, and again, the techniques I want to start sharing with you are, now I've been a spiritual seeker for over 30 years. I've tried techniques that were all about the will, making something happen, and the techniques I've come across recently, I'm sure that similar techniques have been taught for a long time. But what I have found is an incredibly simple, effective way to release whatever needs releasing, to move into whatever states of consciousness you want to move into, just as simply as you can possibly imagine. And it is as simple as ask and receive.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's how many parables out there that you guys have ever heard that one? Ask and ye shall receive. That's how I was brought up, and that's how I believed, and I was, I guess, a little spoiled. So, but
now there's a little more specificity to this here, because our egos are such that they always want to control.
That's why I was spoiled. That's it.
They want to make stuff happen. They want to control things. That's the nature of an ego. You know, there's no getting around it. So what I'm going to demonstrate to you guys, and if the audience wants to, you know, do this as well, then they will have the same experience if they want to.
Cool.
So let's start with a simple one. One of the simplest ones to start with is you ask, and I'm going to use spirit with a capital S for the divine. If a listener or a watcher wants to use their own term for their own personal divine, that's fine.
And you might want to explain why we use a capital instead of a small.
Well, it's the sense that this is the larger aspect of ourselves.
Correct.
Deserves some kind of recognition for that.
Yes. Well, I see spirit as in the alcohol. The spirit's in the alcohol. It's the lower.
Right.
It's the lowercase.
Exactly. So this would be an uppercase spirit for sure.
That's it.
So you could say something like, "Spirit, please saturate me with the energy that will serve my highest need."
Well, do you want to go and we'll get the camera on you?
Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey, could you
address the camera?
Yeah, Jeffrey, would you please come out and zoom camera 2 into Benjamin? So he's going to do a what would you call it? A shamanic healing? Well, it's not shamanic healing, is it?
Well, it's not directly shamanic in the sense, but it's a meditation. You might call it a healing, awakening meditation. Yeah.
Cool. But was that your stomach?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I thought I heard something growling. Oh, make sure that you guys watch Glow Ladies Campfire Stories. That's coming out this week. It took me a long time, but I finally just said it's done. I couldn't put the pictures of the bear on the end of it, so you can tell that Blue and Lizzie are barking at something. And yes, it was a bear. So if you like Blair Witch story type of, yeah, have fun.
Oh, there's a little more astrology I should probably throw in.
Oh, what else is? Yeah.
It's a very, very hot time in the sky.
Okay.
The planet Jupiter has just come into the sign of Aries. And that's the last
Aries
few
New
weeks.
Beginnings?
Aries New Beginnings, but even more potently, the planet Uranus is coming into Aries next week.
Oh, cool.
And
so
Uranus-
that's all different kinds of goodies?
Yeah,
Are you
so
saying?
Uranus is the planet of revolution and paradigm shift,
Cool.
sudden dramatic change. And it's coming into Aries, the very first sign of the zodiac, which is again the sign of new beginnings,
New beginnings,
initiation,
yeah.
fiery, hot, intense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
and this only happens every 84 years. Uranus
Cool.
coming into Aries. So
Well, that's a goodie, because a lot of times we only change when the fire beneath our feet gets a little bit too hot.
that seems to be how it works, sadly.
Yeah.
But it's change time now.
Well,
for
if
sure.
you want to go ahead and address the audience, I
Okay.
will shut my mouth.
Okay. All right. So what I'll have you do is I'll repeat this like a wedding vow, just a few words at a time. Anyone who wants to do this with me. And again, the thing I really need to emphasize is after you've made the request, do your best to be completely passive and just do nothing. What I find is helpful once you've made the request, just relax, let the breath come in and out your nose, focus on your breath, and along with your breath, then just kind of be aware of what is happening in the rest of my body in response to my request. Virtually everyone I do this with has a sensation of the energy moving. So it can be really powerful. Now, being human, our minds will tend to wander off. If you discover you've gotten off on a train of thought, just smile, relax, come back to your breath, come back to your body awareness. So let's do this one for starters. So repeat after me if you'd like. Spirit, please saturate me
Please saturate me
with the energy
with the energy
that will serve my highest need
that will serve my highest need
right now.
right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now just relax for a moment. I'm feeling it. I don't know about you guys. So as you feel the energy coming into your body, just relax, allow it to do its thing. And often it will take a moment or two to sort of do the effect it's going to do. Now, while the energy is coming in, let me just talk a little bit about why we phrase this the way we do. We asked for the energy that will serve our highest need. And that's my philosophy on all this is you delegate to the expert. We do have a personality, but we have another part of ourselves that we call the higher self, the divine self, the God self, whatever. And it's the expert at using energy. It knows at all times exactly what energy you need and what level it needs to come from and what particular beings might need to send it down. So all you ask for is whatever will serve my highest need. You leave all the details up to Spirit and trust that it knows better than you ever could exactly what you need. So are you all feeling any of that now?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Life is good. I can't complain.
Kind of happy.
Okay, good.
I felt it immediately, actually.
Good. Okay, so 3 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm certainly feeling it 4 out of 4.
Yeah, what do you mean 3 out of 3? You weren't counting? We weren't counting you.
and who knows how many other people are feeling it right
That's
now.
it. That's it. I know Allie is. We love you, Allie.
Hi, Ellie.
Okay, so that worked pretty well. Now, so next, now that we have a sense the energy works, I really like to help people become aware of their energy bodies, because ultimately my experience has been an energy body is what I really am, and this physical body is like the car I'm driving around. So
That's why those solar flares affect you, because you have a magnetic field around you.
you bet. So let's ask for awareness of our energy bodies next.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Now, before we do this, just you all on watching and you all check in, just feel in your body, ask what percentage do I feel like a physical body right now and what percentage like an energy body. So just note for yourself what the percentage mix is, just roughly. And then after we do this call in, notice how the change happens. So once again, if you're willing to come along with this and repeat after me, Spirit,
Spirit,
please help me
please help me
be aware of myself
be aware of myself
as an energy body
as an energy body
to the greatest degree
to the greatest degree
that will serve my highest need
that will serve my highest need
right now.
right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just relax once again. You've made the request, your job is done, now just relax. Be aware of the breath coming easily and naturally in and out of your nose. And be aware of the changing perception of yourself, how much physical body, how much energy body. Just see what the ratios are turning to now. Wow, Spirit's working quick today. So did you all feel a shift? What would you say your percentages are right about now?
Oh, I'm always up there. I mean, you got to bring me down out of the clouds
We
most
will at
of
the
the
end.
time.
We will at the end.
No, I have a hard time, except, you know, and I guess it's trying to learn to walk on the earth that my feet are so heavy.
Well, usually we integrate at the end, so that'll help you with that. So did you all feel an amp up of the energy body energy?
Yeah, I have a lot of energy. I have a Pisces body, so I have a
you're
lot of
sensitive
energy.
anyway. Okay.
Well, she's been on vacation too, so she better have a lot of energy after a vacation of 2 weeks,
Beautiful.
leaving us alone here. Although we did have fun with Dr. Melt. He co-hosted for you.
I'm glad you did have fun with him.
Yeah. and
Well,
you
we need a
missed it.
co-host.
You missed.
We can have a
somebody else.
co-host.
A co-host.
Yeah, co-host.
Coco.
So our next phase, now that we are aware of ourselves as an energy body, and hopefully the folks out there are having this experience too, let's ask for an expansion of its size. Now, the concept to be aware of here is that what we really are,
Pyramid behind me.
what we really are is, as we are in fact the universe, we are all God. We're just little bits of God conscious. So,
We are all Egyptians.
among other things. So ultimately, our true size is the size of the entire universe and all the dimensions of consciousness. So we're always that large, we're not always aware of it. So what we're going to ask for now is how aware can we be of our true size? Now, as always, I'm going to say to the greatest extent that will serve our highest need, because we only want as much as we can handle. We don't want to ask for more than we can be ready for. That's why every time you do something like this, you can do your own, but always ask, put the phrase, to the greatest extent that will serve my highest need when you do these, so you don't get overloaded.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's that. Be careful what you pray for, because
Yeah.
you just might get it.
Right.
So as long as you put it out there that I want what's good for me, you know, our choices usually don't bring back as good bonies. Bony. What's that word?
Yeah. It's okay, you're strong in the light.
Now it's going to be on my mind. It's not bounty, but there's something. Something.
I know what you mean.
What's the word?
Bountiful? Bountiful?
No, it's another word.
Oh, it's another word.
Well, maybe it'll
Yeah.
come to us. But let's try this next one.
Well, beneficial, bountiful. Maybe that's where it
Yeah, some word. in between.
blended.
All right, so you ready for the next one?
Okay, let's go.
So once again, just kind of be aware of how you feel. Just before we start, let's get a sense of, I'm aware of my energy body. How big do I feel it to be right now? Is it about body size, a little bigger, a little smaller? What am I feeling it to be, the aura? So now let's ask for maximum expansion that'll serve us. So after me, Spirit, please expand my energy body
Please expand my energy body
to the greatest size
to the greatest size
that will serve my highest need
that will serve my highest need
right now.
right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, just relax, watch your breath, and just be aware of where your mind goes. So just be aware, am I feeling the body enlarging and getting bigger?
Something else that I also figured when you know, leaning over to carry those wings, I found out if you just unfurl them, that it kind of balances you and you do stand much straighter.
Good. So are you perceiving any difference in your energy body size now?
Oh, well, that's what I meant. I just got rid of all that was behind me. I was like, oh, I know what it was. Unfurl them.
Good, good.
Yeah.
So again, just be aware of how big it appears to be, or you feel the large size. And you all watching on the show, on TV, just feel if you're feeling that energetic expansion happening. And of course, after this, you know, it helps to be guided by someone, but anyone can do this on their own anytime. The whole point being you don't have to spend years hard discipline mastering techniques. You can simply ask and just let it happen.
Yeah, most phones have that record feature. So if they wanted to go into a meditative state, they could record that, what you had just said, and they can play it to themselves.
Absolutely, if they want to.
You know, that would be a good healing for them.
And the reason this works so well, you know, 10, 15 years, this wouldn't have worked so good. But because of the energetic shifts we talk about, you know, the Kali Yuga ending, the 2012 approaching, the veil between physical and spiritual is so thin now and getting thinner every moment.
Big time.
So, you know, awakening to your spiritual nature is easier than ever. So that's why these things are working so well.
Yeah. We hope to educate people so that they are not fear-driven down into the ground by a lot of the organized religions. You know, I mean, if you have a person who is being ill in any manner of the word, what is that background, Jeffrey? Oh, you got it? Oh, is it fast-forwarded? Is that what it is? Or is that a different one? Oh, okay. Woo, you just never know around here.
I liked that. I liked that goddess growing there.
I was trying to figure where that statue was. Where it
She looked
came
like
from.
a goddess.
Are those yours, Jeffrey?
No, they're yours, Roland.
Oh, that's my Roland?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See that? Isn't it nice to find treasures? That was one of Kelly Beard's Rolands, and I had taped over top of, and now we see.
It's very appropriate.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we're talking about the cosmos.
Yeah. So right now, are you all still conscious of your light bodies still?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I pretty much live in mine.
Okay, beautiful.
I got to.
Okay, so we've asked for the expansion of it. Let's go for the gold.
Whoa! Was
Let's
that a little
ask
bit too loud?
for let's ask for the blending with our own higher self.
Okay.
That will serve our highest need.
All right.
Okay, so let's try that one. So again, just take a moment, feel where you're at, and viewers too. So if you wish, repeat after me. Spirit, please grant me
Please grant me
the greatest blending
the greatest blending
with my own higher self
with my own higher self
that will serve my highest need
that will serve my highest need
right now.
right now.
Just relax. Let it happen. Again, just be aware of the breath and feel whatever energetic shifts or change in consciousness you might be experiencing.
Anybody vibrating on a higher level?
Okay, now usually the light stays here. I can already feel it coming down though, because Spirit knows that we're on TV and people have short attention spans. So are you feeling already that the expansion is coming down and the light body
You're
is
talking
shrinking
about
back down?
it's not just the stage light up there that's getting brighter?
So I'm perceiving that the energy is coming back down to body size?
Oh,
again?
yeah.
Okay. So again, this is now the integration time. Okay, so the final affirmation we'll do in the sequence is this one.
Oh, cool. Another one?
Okay. So ask for this. Spirit, please grant me
Please grant me
the merging
the merging
of my light body
of my light body
and my physical body
And my physical body
that will serve my highest need
that will serve my highest need
right now.
right now.
So again, just be aware of your physical body and the light body. And you may not feel in your physical body there's a whole lot of tingling going on all the way through it. Okay. What's happening is that the light body has now come back down to physical size, and it's actually making changes on the cellular level so that you can now function as what I call homo luminous.
Woohoo, the glow lady.
There you go. Homo luminous is where your primary identification is as a light being who happens to be in a physical body.
Cool.
And where, you know, I've talked to so many people who are, you know, like yourself, very in the light, and they say, it's just hard to be here. I don't enjoy being in the physical realm. It's too difficult.
Well, see, I got over that.
Good.
I mean, I can relate to that because I remember when I was in that stage where that icky goo that Kelly talks about and the who am I, what am I, because when you are divinely connected, you are led on paths that don't always go with the norm. So in order to be happy, that's when you really have to stand up and take the lead. Because too many are willing to follow in because they don't want to do the effort for whatever reason.
All right, so what we've just done helps to accomplish is for those who feel like they're missing their divine essence when they're down here in the physical.
Right.
this brings it to you.
Right.
And you don't have to have an either-or situation anymore. I had this happen to me fall before last in a shamanic ceremony. I was going into such a powerful bliss state, and just, you know, really getting into the bliss very deeply. And I think I wasn't aware of it, but I was vocalizing. I say, yes, 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 more, move me deeper, kind of thing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the shaman is standing in front of me saying, not so noisy, please.
Wow.
And at that moment, something amazing happened. All of a sudden, instead of just being one place or the other, I was fully conscious of my physical body in that room, and I was fully aware of the other dimensional states that I was in.
Were you astro traveling?
Well, I couldn't even define where I was, but it was realms of reality and bliss way beyond the physical realm.
Right.
But all of a sudden, they were both there. They were totally both present, and there was no conflict. They easily coexisted, and that ability has been with me ever since. And one of the things that I feel very blessed by is that if I, in one of my own shamanic journeys, have a breakthrough or an ability is granted me, I then have the ability to transmit that ability to anyone else, you know, without them having to do the same kind of shamanic ceremony. So
that's like putting out a blessing, putting out a prayer type of. If you're sending them good energy, and you're sending it out there, isn't that what a prayer or blessing is, more or less?
Yeah. So, but the beautiful thing here is, you know, just by having someone do that affirmation, now let my light body and my physical body blend and be joined, both conscious of both now, always, then that blending can be anybody's who asks for it.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Like an organized gelling is what it kind of reminded me of. Like everything was coming together. All of a sudden there was room in my body for both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really? Is that how you
Yeah, it felt like a organized conjunction or something.
Yeah.
Like they were coming together, and I was getting condensed a little bit to make room for everything.
Right.
Yeah. And you didn't have to understand technically what was going on at all, did you?
No, it was just, yeah. At first I thought it was kind of strange, and then it felt okay.
Cool.
Yeah. This reminds me of a shamanic client I worked with recently. I was doing shamanic healing with her, and she said she's for years she's been studying like Western medicine and Chinese medicine and acupuncture. I mean, she's doing all these technical studies, but she's not doing any healing, you know, because she doesn't think she knows enough yet. And you know, I worked on her for a while and had her do some of these sort of same techniques, and she was feeling them very powerfully. And then at the end, I was called to actually get off the table. Have her get off the table. I got on the table and said, okay, now you heal me.
Oh, cool.
And you just do what Spirit tells you to do. And she was called to place her hands several different places, and the energy was flowing really strong.
Right.
And she had no technical understanding of what she was doing. But
I've done that. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that's possible.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm doing a lot of shamanic healing work now, and it's so simple. You know, if you have the ability to hear what you're being told to do, and if you have the ability to just simply be a piece of pipe, the energy can flow through.
Divine hearing, that still small.
Yes, your intuitive
voice.
Guidance. Yes.
Correct.
Then anything can happen. As long as you're a clear enough channel, then you can be a very powerful vessel for all sorts of things, and you don't have to have any technical knowledge at all.
Right.
Because God knows it all and can pass it on.
It's so much easier, you know, the happy, joyous, and free way of living when you do that. You know, when you just give it up.
Yeah. So, you know, one of the things when I was called to be a shaman in one of the ceremonies, one of the things that was clear to me is my job is to teach in the sense that anybody can be a shaman. And I'm defining shaman in a really clear way. One is a shaman is one who intercedes with the divine forces for the benefit of others here on earth. Obviously, I'm not an indigenous shaman. I wasn't raised in the Amazon or anything.
Well, shaman, is that more of a doctor type of healing archetype?
Well, the shaman is their primary function is to bring healing and harmony to others. If you're a tribal shaman, you live with the tribe, you're responsible not only for the health of the tribe, but also you're interceding with the weather, with the elements. You know, you have to know other things that relate to the safety and prosperity of the tribe in general.
You had to know what the sun flare was.
Well, you had to know what related to the tribe specifically.
Right.
But
the stars, the moon.
But the sense that I'm using it is much more confined, which is just, you know, if I can intercede on someone's behalf to help them have some sort of healing or to have some sort of conscious awakening, then that's what I'm here to do. And every human has that ability if they're called to do it.
Right.
And so I guess the big message I'm trying to get out now is you don't have to have years of specialized training. You don't have to have a diploma or a certificate. If you, in fact, I'd like to teach one more thing that people can try, and I've yet to have this not work for anyone I've given it to, which is just how to be a healing conduit yourself. So,
yeah, and there's a lot of that's needed out there in the world today.
Yeah.
You know, if you are tired of feeling, you know, the negativity and if you are not happy in your life, there is a way that you could choose to live that you could keep a smile on your face. But you have to remember the choice is yours. I mean, that's what it, you know, really comes down to.
So let me lead this, if I may.
Cool.
So what I'll have everyone do is they're going to hold their hands up like this, pointing them forward. Now think of a person you would most like to bless, send love to, send healing to. Okay, and just think of that person, and then repeat after me. Spirit, please flow the energy through me.
Please flow the energy through me.
That will serve the highest need.
That will serve the highest need.
Of, insert person's name here.
Joshua, Chet, Cody,
right now.
Shelby.
Thank you. Now relax and notice that you may feel energy coming out of your palms right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, because you asked and Spirit is sending it. Your only job right now is to be a good piece of pipe.
And there again, when you're doing that, all you really have to do is put intent. Because as soon as you put your hands up, you know you are intent. Yes, it does get more powerful working with the energy, but your intent is so much. You know, the thought that creates the form. Up there.
So yeah, you can drop your hands now. Now, the raised hands is nice, but it's not necessary.
Right. But when you raise them, I feel that you can actually feel the energy much easier than when you just keep them down.
Right, but I find actually that I can flow energy to others with no physical motion at all now.
Right.
The energy finds a way out. And
but for people themselves to really experience what are they talking about with energy, I find it easier to put your hands up and just rock them back and forth and feel that energy.
Yeah.
Feel,
or let them be
that,
rocked.
that resisted. Yeah.
So that. The one thing we didn't do was to ask for the healing that will serve our highest need. Would you like to do that too while we're at it?
Hey man, I'm up for some full service today. Cool.
Now I'll say too, it's not even necessary to specify what healing you think you need. Again, remember, we're dealing with the part of ourselves that is omniscient about us and knows everything about us all the time. So if you simply ask for, please grant me the healing that will serve my highest need, your higher self will know where to send the energy. Now you can also ask for, give me the highest need because of this particular thing I'm needing help with, but it's not actually necessary.
Right.
So let's do that too.
Oh, sugar.
Is there a time?
You know what?
We need to wrap it up?
You guys know how it is around here. Time flies when you're having fun. Now, there's a little green light in there that means that Kelly Beard is going to be coming on. So you see her, Jeffrey? Do you know how to get her call in? You don't? Yeah. You see it? Do you want me to come and help you?
Together and processing things on the human individual level.
Oh no! That's the roll-in. That's the roll-in. That's not Kelly Live. That's what was on that tape. Inquiring minds wanted to know what was the voices in behind that. That's what it was. I'm gonna go in the control room and catch Kelly's call. As always, it has been fun and enlightening, and make sure that you hang out because you get the 3 and 1 or no, the 2 and 1 non-blonde for the I Ching show. So I Ching guy's gonna call in, and it's gonna be a little bit different than usual, but that's what brings the spice of life. A little bit different than usual. So Benjamin, I thank you.
Oh, thanks for letting me be on.
I guess I'm going to get out of here and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Go ahead, you can put it on. That was smart. I forgot. There's restrictions around here. Go ahead, Benjamin. Camera 2.
So am I still on?
Yep, we're still on.
Okay. Well, so let me now give this final process.
Yes, please.
If only I can remember what it was.
Healing yourself, right?
Healing, thank you.
Self-healing, yes.
Okay, so now we can call for the healing we need. We kind of gave the lead into it. So anyone who wishes can now repeat after me. Spirit, please grant me
Please grant me
the healing
the healing
that will serve my highest need
that will serve my highest need
right now.
right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, just relax, let the energy come in. As always, you do nothing as a personality. You've already done your part. Your job now is just to receive. So be aware of the breath coming in and out your nose, relaxed, calm, breathing itself. And just feel, where in my body do I feel the energy going? Where does Spirit think I need the healing the most, and what is it doing? So you have kind of a couple of options here. One is you can simply be aware of where the energy is going and just leave it at that. But if you feel like you would like to be a more active participant, try this. Send love to whichever part of the body you feel the healing working, or if you're making a conscious choice, where do I feel the most constriction of energy, the most pain, the most difficulty in my body? And what you do is you love it. In my shamanic work, I have found that love is the most powerful healing tool that I have. If you simply love it from your own personality, ask your higher self to love it too, and your mantra becomes silently, I love you, 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 just endlessly. Then if you want to augment what's happening with that, you can do that. Just feel that love pouring into whichever part needs it most. And just relax and feel the love coming in. Energetically, what I've observed is that one of three things happens to the dark area you're sending love to energetically. One is whatever is dark in there dissolves away. Another is that this dark thing may turn to something beautiful and wonderful that you want to keep. And a third possibility is that whatever it is may just leave and go find a new home that is not in you. So which of those three things happens really doesn't matter. You just kind of relax and allow the process to unfold. So just, again, refocus your attention on that part of the body that you have called the healing into. And send it love if you wish, and just take a moment longer to feel the process happening. So are you ladies feeling anything going on over there?
I feel very peaceful.
How about you?
At peace.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Okay. And, oh, you know what, the one thing I forgot to ask, we probably don't have time now, but I often say, Spirit, please saturate me with the maximum amount of bliss that will serve my highest need.
Let's repeat that one.
Let's want to do that? Do we have time? Oh, we do have a few minutes, don't we? Okay.
Yes, we're still on.
So let's try this one then. Repeat after me. Spirit.
Spirit.
Please saturate me.
Please saturate me
with the maximum amount of bliss.
With the maximum amount of bliss.
That will serve my highest need.
That will serve my highest need.
Right now.
Right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And relax. Watch your breath. If you can imagine, you have a blissometer. 0 being no bliss, 10 being as much bliss as you can possibly imagine. Just notice where that meter is right now and see if it's changing and hopefully rising. I know mine's going up.
I feel very happy. Do you, Victoria?
Isn't it amazing how you just ask and it comes?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's very cool. It seems like it should be so much more complicated than that, doesn't it?
Exactly, but it isn't. It's really simple. And that's my whole message today is you can experience healing, you can experience expanded divine consciousness, you can integrate your light body into your physical body, all just by asking. It's just that simple.
And you shall receive, right, sweetheart?
Yeah. So I guess that's what I really wanted to say today.
Great. I'm so glad you did. We need to use this. We need to do this at home, honey.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So do y'all have any questions about what we've done as we wrap up the show here?
No, I don't have questions because you were a very good teacher and you made it very clear on what we needed to do. Where does this come from? Just from within?
I've been taught these things in my own meditations and shamanic journeys.
Okay.
when I do shamanic work, very often it's not just, experiential shift, but I'm actually given specific information as part of the process.
I see.
And part of my job is to be a healer and an awakener. So, being on the show is part of what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to get this message out to as many people as I can.
And as often.
And in as helpful a way and to make it just as dirt simple as possible, so that anyone can do it very simply and get the benefits of it.
It was very simple. It was
Yeah.
very, Sometimes the most obvious is not what we ever think about.
Right, because our minds like to complicate things so it can stay in
They
control.
have to make it difficult. Yeah.
So I hope this technique has been helpful.
It has.
To
Thank you.
To your audience.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Hello, Asheville. Are we live yet? Okay. Hello, Asheville and beyond. This is Kelly M. Beard of Karmic Tools and Lunar Reflections. Happy Friday. It is Friday, February 25th, 2011, and we have big stuff cooking. As we've discussed, things were warming up and speeding up and gaining momentum, and we are right in the thick of it. We had a lot of activations this week, all initiation type of things, so new beginnings are bubbling. There's a lot of Mercury, so a lot of it's just thoughts and ideas bubbling and conversations getting going and connections being made, which is useful, definitely useful, getting different versions of the truth going and different observations. People, two heads are better than one very often, so that's pretty useful. And for today, like I said, it's the 25th. We hit the Sagittarius last quarter moon yesterday, so we're still kind of in that vibration right now through a little bit of tomorrow as well. So Sagittarius, brings the truth. So we're facing a lot of things. That last quarter is a completion as well. So we have this energy, at least for the weekend for sure, and throughout this coming week, that you should be assessing and recognizing what's trying to emerge from your new vision and your new definition of terms and your new understanding about yourself and the world and whatever's been revealed over the last 6 months or so. It's time to get a plan for going forward. And there's lots of support, but this is still the kind of wrapping up kind of energy. So if you're feeling that push to get things done or to get things cleared and released, there's a lot of that pressure going on that you can carry any way you see fit. But I would suggest not trying to make it too heavy of a burden if possible. It has to be done. Let's not look at it as good or bad, just what is. And some of this work just absolutely has to be done. So we also have switched gears with the North Nodes, which we touched on a little bit last week. So the path has shifted, and we've talked about that alternating kind of energy of being here on planet Earth, which is to consolidate and then expand, and then you lay a little more foundation, and then you expand again, and then you lay a little bit more foundation. And what we've been through for the last year and a half or so with the Capricorn North Node was a lot of consolidation, a lot of simplifying and stripping away the non-essential and getting back to basics. Okay, as we've done that over the last 18 months, and my thing, when you're in it, it's hard to tell what's what, but now that's over, so the dust is settling on what piece of the foundation you actually anchored. That's really, really juicy and useful for you to start digging for if you haven't already. And as we shift into Sagittarius, now we're in expansion mode. So for those of you who don't like the consolidating mode, because that's my other thing, these things are cycles, and they alternate, and they come back around, so you just want to get a rhythm to it and recognize when you're comfortable and when you're uncomfortable. Some people like the consolidating phase. They like to simplify. They like purging and purifying and distilling things back to their essence. That's a useful thing. But some people are really uncomfortable with that because they like the big broad view and the bigger story, and they like to go off exploring and researching and doing the Sag thing. So depending on where your comfort zone is, some people are going to love this. This is going to be a new 18-month cycle of defining what is it, the word I'm looking for? Pulling out the truth, basically. There's a word for that. We're pulling out the truth of everything that's unfolded over the last 18 months. So what kind of story are you going to tell based on what did get stripped, what did get released, okay? Because, again, North Node was contributing there. Pluto was contributing to the North Node in Capricorn there, and Pluto always demands a sacrifice. So what kind of major or minor sacrifices did you make over the last 18 months that are going to be part of the foundation of the expanding truth and the expanding story that you're telling right now, going forward? We are in that zone. And so this whole week, just thinking in terms of micro to macro, okay, we want to think this month, the moon takes about 28 days to make it through the zodiac. So once a month it hits Sag. Then every 6 months we have a full moon, new moon in Sag and Gemini. And that means there's this annual cycle and this semi-annual cycle and this monthly cycle that you can tune into anytime that you're developing your story along the way. And just prepare yourself. Like I said, it is about to expand in a lot of ways, and we need to be ready for that. So whatever clearing in this final last quarter moon that you're doing from your full moon in Leo, okay, that full moon in Leo was the 29 degrees, that final degree, and clearing out any residual sticky icky around self-love issues, around authenticity, around having the courage to be yourself, which in this case a lot of people who are very different are stepping forward to lead, which is wonderful. It's part of the Aquarian age. And just in this month alone, as we shift from Aquarius to Pisces, you know, I saw a note somewhere that said Aquarius is odd man out, whereas Pisces is one love. It's all one. The unity consciousness comes into being. So in this case, we want to honor the unique aspects of our being, but then what also keeps us in alignment with those around us. So we're really being cognizant of our boundary issues. You know, that's going to be big. Pisces is an annual thing. As the sun moves through Pisces right now, we've got a bunch of little guys in Pisces. Mars amps up that energy of action based on the vision. So we have some things to really discuss here. The Sag last quarter, first things first, I want you to finish before you prepare to begin, okay, because the Pisces new moon is coming on the 4th. Next Friday when we talk will be the actual new moon in Pisces. So for now, you want to just assess and tune into where your faith is strongest or weakest, you know, where you're trusting and where you're not trusting, where you're trying to control. You want to recognize the actions, because it's Sagittarius. Very often we act on whatever we believe to be true. So we've had a lot of different energies and activations pushing us to define those terms a little bit more clearly here and now. And we want to take some time in nature for sure, because this is a completion, and some of the downloads you're just going to have to be still and quiet for. And Sagittarius is all about going to the mountains, so that's a piece of it. This is your own code and philosophy to live by, and this is something that must be developed and strengthened at this time, because there's so much chaos in the world. You could get caught up, and nobody likes to be living someone else's story. You know, we don't want to do that. So even though it, you know, because it's moon, it can feel kind of personal, you're still on your quest for your truth and your understanding of who you are and what you're supposed to be doing at this point. And remember, we're still in the realm of the Leo full moon. It's 2-week zone here where we complete all this self-love work and we prepare ourselves for the next level, okay? Because the next level, like I said, is going to be the Virgo full moon, where we synthesize the last 6 months all together. So this Sagittarius last quarter, this week in particular, we did get some divine guidance from the Tao Oracle, and it was number 41, decrease. So what's interesting about that is Sagittarius, of course, is big, expand, you know, over the top, large, and then we get decrease. So what I think is happening is we are decreasing the negative, toxic Gemini, blah, blah, okay? We're discerning facts from truth. How much of our world is moving on facts that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with truth, of the bigger truth, the larger truth that encompasses all of us as we live here? And I just thought it was pretty delicious, because even with decrease that says decline, cutting back, being frugal, contracting, letting go, less is more, resourcefulness, and a sacrifice. Well, we're coming out of that. You know, we're not forever, but for this time period. And some people, you know, she even points this out in the reading, get a little uncomfortable with having to cut back. But this is about stripping the non-essential so that you can get to your essential truth and what you're trying to live and how you're trying to live and what you're trying to get accomplished in each moment. So I want to share a little bit of this because it might help those of you who feel like the decreased piece of things where you're losing everything, or you have already lost everything, or had to strip different things or cut back in different ways that are not so comfortable, that there is a silver lining, let's say. There's, you know, this is not necessarily a bad thing. And so she says the word decrease is generally equated with something bad, diminishing returns, less money, less love, less influence, less security, and so on. But this one-sided perspective doesn't take into account the quality of decrease that is an essential part of the dynamic of growth. Okay, growth and expansion requires letting go of the dead wood, essentially. It is the part that curbs excess, trims the fat, facilitates the restoration of balance, thank you, God, and brings us to our knees where we must find the inner resources to grow into a fuller realization of our potential. That is so useful, and we have spent the last 18 months curbing excesses and trimming the fat and facilitating the restoration of balance. That's what the whole process of the Capricorn North Node was all about. It was getting that course correction on the path. Then we had the eclipses to help radically shift things up and shake up the energy and get us focused on what really is important. And that is going to lead us to the Pisces new moon, which is even more interesting because here we are with lots of activations, like I said, new beginnings and things. But I'm looking at this new moon as a potent seed point, okay? You want to remember Pisces is the completion for the year. So we have the winter solstice, which initiates the solar year, and then we've got spring equinox, which initiates another kind of year. And here we are. As we wrap things up in Pisces, we prepare to initiate in Aries. And so my note as we move through the last quarter work, which is solidifying the commitment to a new, deeper, broader inner truth. And it comes this week. We're dealing with these new beginnings. And then the big one, the big final test, is something I really wanted to touch on as well today because we are working through, defining our terms. And today is that activation. I mentioned it last week, but today Jupiter in Aries squares off with Pluto in Capricorn for the third and final time. So the first two times they were both retrograde. Both Jupiter and Pluto were backwards, so it was very internal. And it probably got deep for some folks. If you have any Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn in your chart strongly placed or strongly activated, then this big cardinal T square is ongoing, and it's going to be pushing your buttons for quite some time. So just pace yourself. That's all I can tell you, because this square is between your individual truth and the collective unfolding, which is, important to get some kind of alignment, some kind of balance and understanding of how you're moving through within the context of the collective. And in this case, today is the day. So I had a little blurb on that as well I want to share with you. As Jupiter squares Pluto, Pluto is about permanent change. It is about the sacrifice. So if you can look into different pieces that you've had to give up or where your truth has just changed, permanently changed, it's so important. And we want to purify our motivations. We want to renew our sense of purpose and dedication. And we've talked about this for a long time. Question everything, especially your autopilot behavior. Anything that you do the same way, the same time, over and over and over for years and years and years, those are the habits I want you to question right now. Do they still make sense? Are they still effective? Do they help you or hinder you from actual expansion and progress? Okay, so today this is a social planet squaring off with a collective planet, so it's a little bigger than us little guys down here. But the truth is, like I said, if you have any Aries, Libra, or Cancer, Capricorn, it is very, very personal, and I've got 3 out of the 4. So it is very, very personal, and I can tell you that restructuring is going on inside, outside, upside down. You just have to do the best you can in every moment, and again, being centered in your own truth helps. All this Aries energy is pushing people toward independence, and it's not so that you're separated from people, because the opposite of Aries is Libra. We do want to assemble our team, and Saturn in Libra for 2 years is helping us do that. But essentially, you still have to have your peace in check, and you have to have yourself together to be bringing anything to the table and trying to collaborate with anyone else, whether it's love or work, or family or friends or whatever kind of relationships you're coming together to grow with. Your peace has to be as clean as possible to get the best results, okay? Because you are what you attract, and whatever is going on inside is going to come out because there's so much pressure right now. Like I said, that T square means it's not a full cross. 3 of the 4 pieces are activated, leaving Cancer on its own. So to contain, nurture, and protect needs to be your buzzwords. What are you doing where the Capricorn restructuring is going on, where the Aries new independence is going on, and where the Libra new relationships or renegotiated old relationships, however you want to look at that? All of those things are happening, but then Cancer brings in the point of the nutrient. Is it feeding you? Is it making you feel emotionally secure? Is it necessary right now to help develop whatever it is you're trying to become or do or have or be? All of that is connected. So we want to do the Cancer piece consciously. We want to do some self-care. We want to take some time out to process and release negativity and release some of the garbage. There's a lot going on, and I just wrote down a couple of things. You know, again, we can use this Sag this week in particular to filter out some static. So that's what going to nature's all about. Gemini, the opposite of Sagittarius, brings the thoughts and words to the surface, but Sag usually brings the healing and the wisdom. And so you want to ask yourself this week, especially because of that Leo full moon and all the self-love issues that have been brought into the light, of how many, how much of the old tapes are still running in your head? How much of that negative self-talk is still going on? And how can you transmute it and move into some new world, some new energy and some new understanding and access some new talents and new wisdom that is within you, but you've got to clear away some of the dead wood here. And just, again, like I said, whatever's inside comes out. So if you've been holding on to a lot of toxic ideas and concepts and relationships and people and habits, certainly, then you're going to get pushed right now, because we do have the Jupiter squaring off with Pluto. That's today, 3rd of 3. Jupiter opposing Saturn, okay, that's the Aries-Libra piece, happened last May and August, and we're going to have the final hit on March 28th. So we're about a month away from that. Why I want to put this on the table is because, again, Jupiter's just the star of the show. Truth and story, purpose, all of that is getting stirred up this entire year. When I looked at the year as a whole, Jupiter is the busiest little bee this whole year. So that means truth is radically shifting as we speak. So you don't want to be too attached to any one truth or any one idea. You got to remember, Sag, Gemini, and Virgo, Pisces are the mutable babies. They're very fluid and flexible and adaptable, and they tend to, go with the flow when they're healthy and resist that, try to control when they're imbalanced. So we want to pay attention. Now, Jupiter and Saturn have a 20-year cycle, and I want to remind everyone they got together in 2000. That initiated the 20-year cycle. That means 2010, 2011 is the midpoint, and you know how I feel about midpoints. They're vital. This means we've gone as far as we can go. Now, when Jupiter and Saturn got together in 2000, it was Taurus. It was all about Mother Earth and our resources and how we're doing, what we're doing, and how long we can get away with that. So you have to tune in to this midpoint. Basically, a lot has been revealed since then. So much has been revealed since then, because you got to remember 2000 to 2008, Pluto was in Sag, digging up the truth and all the religious spirituality, toxicity, sticky stuff at the bottom. So we cleared out what we believed to be true so that we could change our fundamentals. We had to shift what we believed to be true before we could get to the Capricorn government, education, health care, all of the big items that Capricorn represents. So that 20-year cycle is at the midpoint, and the midpoint comes to Aries Libra. And it just so happens that that's very much the self versus other, and comes in a time where we need to balance how much we need to do for ourselves and how much we really need to reach out to other people. Now, we all have our own ballast point, our center point that we're used to, that we like, and that we cultivate over time and strengthen over time. Now, for me, it's more of the control side of things, but we're learning to expand and allow and invite, okay? So I set my intentions. I give kind of a skeletal outline here, and then I say, okay, Spirit, bring in the good stuff. And I just want to see how far on a personal level, if you have Jupiter in Taurus, then, you might have felt something going on in 2000. How's 2010 feeling? And this is a time to decide how much you want to build on that Taurus energy. What you remember, the Taurus represents the garden, and that is food and beauty. Okay, we need nutrient and beauty to sustain ourselves as human beings. We forget about some of that sometimes, but it is necessary for our being. So now if we can recalibrate the balance between self and other, this is going to lead us down the road, the next 10 years to wrap up the entire cycle. So that's a big cycle that we're right in the middle of. And like I said, our final activation between Jupiter and Saturn, remember, oppositions they push us to compromise and integrate. And if we don't, then we end up swinging from extremes. Well, Jupiter wants to expand and Saturn wants to consolidate. Jupiter in Aries wants to do its own thing. Saturn in Libra says, it's not just about you. You have to consider the people near you and far away from you and how your actions and choices affect others on large and small scales. So we're tuning in there, and we're recognizing the balance that we need to calibrate as individuals as well as our little circles and our groups and the group energy that's going on. And then we have Jupiter, together with Uranus in Aries for this time being, that was starting out a 14-year cycle. So here we are at a test with Pluto. What are you willing to sacrifice for your truth? And we're at an integration with Saturn. How well are you going to play with others and restore balance to your own life? And we're starting a brand new Jupiter and Uranus. These are the path openers coming along right as the path shifts from Capricorn to Sag, a path based on truth. This is so delicious, and we are so blessed to be part of it right now and awake and aware and doing what we came to do. So it's very, very important that you define your terms as best you can while still leaving room for spirit to work as well. That's the other piece of it. You always, in your prayer work, you want to be this or something greater, whatever's for my highest good. Try to get yourself and your ego out of the way when you're putting things out to the universe to invite back into your life in a cleaner form, in a better form that will serve you and those who you serve. It will help, as you evolve, you're a better instrument for doing things in the world. And the new moon in Pisces, this is still preparation. Remember, it's response to the last thing, preparation for the next thing. So this last quarter is a response to the Leo full moon, wherever it shined a light on your self-love issues or your heart issues or your happiness issues. Leo's all about being happy and joyful and playful and loving life, just loving life. So Sag comes along and reveals that truth, and the truth is kind of tricky. It's all in your perception. Okay, then we get back to that Sag, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, where it's ideas and ideals. People are arguing over ideas. They're not even real. We're just discussing the possibilities of how things could unfold. So when you're in some of those discussions, and they do get heated because one belief system is clashing with another belief system, then somebody has to take a deep breath and go, okay, let's bring it back to center. This is just an idea. We haven't even made a decision yet. By that same token, the shadow side of that is vacillating and not making any decisions. And I got to tell you, there's not a lot of wiggle room for that. If you don't choose, the universe is going to hand you something. And most of the time, it's not anywhere near what you were looking for. So this new moon in Pisces comes along to start a brand new beginning where Pisces, Virgo is concerned, certainly. It tests my Gemini, Sag babies. In the realm of being able to trust spirit, let go and let God is the whole thing about Pisces, is using the Virgo filter to assess what's in front of you and to process things and to filter out the madness, to get down to what's relevant and useful. And then Pisces can broaden the vision that encompasses everyone around us. But it brings up a lot of different things. And again, this is more endings. And so people who are resistant to letting go and resistant to endings, all I can tell you is, again, this vibration is going to change dramatically when we hit Aries big time for the personal planets. Then it's going to feel very personal. But right now, I'd like you to take some time to just meditate. Use this week coming to just meditate. Like I said, this week that we're coming out of, I think we had 8 activations, 6 of which were conjunctions, which is new beginnings and amplified power. So this week was a lot of juice. You may or may not have had a chance to really understand it or process it or do anything with it. So that's going to come on the next week. And next week lightens up. So that's kind of good for us because next week we only have 2 activations, but it's Venus and Mars are both kicking with the big boys. Venus is working with Uranus, which is getting some clarity around your values and priorities and waking you up to things that are really important to you. And Mars is working with Pluto. So again, that lower will and higher will is going to get a calibration this week. But as long as you're preparing for the Pisces new moon, and how you would like to embrace your power to choose, again, making those choices, releasing the victim consciousness, because, again, that shadow side of Pisces is the victim energy. And it's also, you want to remember the shadow side of Virgo is service versus servant. We don't want to be a servant, but we do want to be of service to the universe, to the world, to our community, to ourselves, to our families. We want to do that, but, again, secure your mask first. Take care of you. This is a really good month during Pisces until March 20th, until we hit equinox. equinox, which is going to be extremely potent this year in particular. You want to get as much intentional solitude as possible, again, back to nature, doing some reflections, doing some visioning, doing some writing might help. You know, this is the time when Pisces comes in to dissolve any crustiness going on within you. So you want to prepare for that. That means defining your terms as best you can, because what new energy is going to come in, it is going to take root in the space that you prepare for it. So you don't, you know, I've got a little note here that says you're not defined by your past or your pain or your mistakes, but you are responsible for your choices. So that's part of releasing that victim consciousness. As you recognize your choices brought you here, you can choose anew. But as long as you say these things are happening to you, that people did this to you, or the government or the family or your lovers or whatever, then it's outside of you. You have now officially given away your power to make a choice. You have to inhale that back, as Caroline Casey would say, inhaling back your own authority to make choices for your life. This is what grown-ups do, okay? So we want to really step into that piece of things. And America is such a young country that everybody feels very young to me. We have to get a little more responsible with how we're doing things. We've got to get a lot more responsible, really. But it starts with you. So any baby steps that you can take this week and next are going to be really useful for setting the tone. And this is the time to visualize and to dream a little. That's why I love Pisces, because it kind of suspends all of the 3D stuff for a minute, not for long, but for a minute, and opens up this realm of communing with God that is so necessary. You have to get your instructions before you make a move, which means you have to sit down and invite Spirit to guide you. And in that case, this is what Pisces month every year is so good for, because on one hand, you do want to allow a little Virgo process of the past year, but you're also dreaming up the new year and preparing for the Aries action that's coming. So you do want to dream in terms of big, big, big vision, and then bring it down to what's the first step. What's the first action step out the gate you want to do come March, April? And we have a lot of support for that. And like I said, we're still processing last week, lots of new beginnings, lots of new thinking, lots of new ideas bubbling, creativity is bubbling. It's all supported. We are very, very well placed in these big cycles that are converging. I know 14 years is kind of big to wrap your brain around, and 20 years is too big to wrap your brain around, but we're taking this 1 year at a time, people. We're okay. We're in it together. We're going to walk this path together and share it with each other and do the best we can with what we've got. Now, I also wanted to encourage, before I let you guys go, because we're wrapping it up, I wanted to encourage you to email me at kelly@karmictools.com with any questions that you feel might be relevant on a weekly basis. You know, I mean, just send me what you got. But I'm looking for some questions. Apparently, I'm calling in on the call-in line, so we can't take call-ins right now. But if you email me questions, and if they are useful and relevant to most, I will answer them happily, joyfully. But I want to mix it up a little bit, guys. I think we need a little more interaction. We're making this fun. I'm working my way towards some new projects, and we do talk about the activations, and we do talk about the lunar cycle. But if you have some specific questions, by all means, email me at kelly@karmictools.com and let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to cover, or something I forgot, or some kind of clarity or clarifying, and we will be all good. So I believe Mark is back. I don't know if Lisa's nearby enough to say yes or no, but please stay tuned in a half an hour for the I Ching show, or a replay. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me?
And this is Kelly M. Beard of Karmic Tools and Lunar Reflections. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week. I think we're out.